Everyone in the galaxy feared one name, Queen Ceravora, the alien vampire queen. Stories about her spread like fire in every world, every station, every ship. Some said she could drink the life from a planet. Some said she had no shadow because darkness itself feared her. Some said anyone who looked at her face never returned. But no one ever knew the truth, because no one ever survived long enough to speak it. Commander Elias Ward, a human veteran, did not believe in monsters. He believed in fact, not fairy tales. Still, when his ship entered the dark territory ruled by the Queen, even he felt something cold in his chest. The Queen's palace was huge, silent, and shaped like a sleeping beast. Black towers reached for the sky, and the air tasted like old storms. Alien guards stood like statues, their eyes red from fear, not from anger. When Elias walked toward the entrance, one guard whispered, "You should not go alone. Human. No one meets her alone." Elias answered calmly, "She requested me." The guard stepped back, as if the words themselves carried danger. Inside, the halls were dim and endless. Strange symbols glowed on the walls, pulsing like slow heartbeats. Every echo of Elias's boots sounded too loud, like the palace was listening to him, watching him. The throne room doors were carved with the image of wings, fangs, and an unfamiliar crown. Two massive alien sentries pushed them open, and a cold wind rolled out, colder than winter, colder than space. Elias stepped inside. The throne room was almost empty. No bright lights, no royal decorations, only darkness, deep and thick like smoke. Then he felt it. Eyes! Someone was staring at him. From the shadows behind the throne, two violet lights appeared. Not lamps, not technology. Eyes! Her eyes! A soft voice floated out, smooth but full of sadness. "You came, human." Elias kept his posture calm. "Queen Ceravora, I am honored to stand before you." She did not move. Only her voice came again, quieter this time. "Do not come closer. I cannot let you see my face." Elias raised an eyebrow. "Why?" A long silence. Then her voice trembled. "My face destroys peace, terrifies everyone. Even my own people turn away." Her breath shook. "They call me cursed." Elias took one slow step forward. "A queen with your power should not fear anyone." "You don't understand," she whispered. "I hide in darkness because it is kinder than daylight. I hide from mirrors because they show me what I am." Again, those violet eyes lowered, full of shame. "My face is scary, human, horrible, ugly." The word almost broke her voice. Elias looked into the darkness without fear. He did not know her face. He did not know her pain. But something inside him refused to step back. Instead, he said gently, "Maybe you only look scary because no one ever looked at you with kindness." The Queen inhaled sharply, shocked, confused, shaken. For the first time in years, someone spoke to her not as a monster, but as a person. And the darkness around her began to tremble. Queen Ceravora did not answer at first. Her violet eyes flickered in the darkness, unsure, almost afraid. No one had ever spoken gently to her. Not her guards, not her council, not even her own bloodline. Everyone only bowed, trembled, and kept their distance. Elias stood still, waiting. He did not move closer, did not raise his weapon, did not show fear. His calmness confused her more than anything. "You speak kindly," Ceravora finally whispered, "but kindness always hides fear. I can smell fear, human. It is always the same." Elias shook his head. "I am not afraid of you." "You should be," she replied, her voice turning colder. "My curse destroys anyone who sees me clearly." Elias frowned. "Curse!" The throne room darkened further, as if shadows moved with her emotions. She hid her face deeper behind her long black hood, her wings folding protectively behind her. "My people once worshipped beauty," she said. "But I was born different, born with vampire traits my species had not seen in centuries. They feared what I might become. So they judged you from birth." Elias asked. "They judged me before birth," she corrected softly. "The moment they sensed my power." Her voice trembled. "For years, I covered my face. I learned to speak from behind curtains, behind shields, behind shadows. My father told me a queen must hide her ugliness, or the galaxy will call it weakness. Elias felt something twist in his chest. He had met warriors, emperors, soldiers, kings, but never someone who ruled from behind darkness because of shame. "What did you see?" Elias asked gently. "The first time you looked in a mirror." Saravora's breath caught. The shadows around her rippled like cold water. "I saw a monster," she whispered. "Fangs I could not hide. Eyes too bright. Skin too pale. Lines too sharp. A face that frightened even me." She turned her head away as if remembering the pain. "I broke the mirror," she said softly. "And after that, I never looked at another." Elias stepped forward, slow, respectful, steady. "You are not a monster because of your face," he said. "A monster is something else entirely." Her wings tightened. Her claws dug lightly into the throne. "You do not know what I am capable of." "Then show me," Elias said calmly. "Let me decide for myself." For a moment, she froze. No god had ever asked to see her face. No advisor. No royal. No general. Everyone looked away. No one dared to ask. "You will regret it," Saravora whispered. But Elias took one more step, a quiet, fearless step. "Let me see you, Saravora," he said. "Not the queen, not the legend. You." Her eyes widened. No one had ever said her name with such softness. The shadows around her shook. Her breath hitched. For the first time in her life, she reached up, slowly, trembling, and touched the edge of her hood. "If you look at me, do not scream," she whispered. Elias only nodded, and with a shaking hand, the alien vampire queen began to reveal the face the galaxy feared. Darkness rippled. The air froze. This was the moment no one had ever survived. But the human did not move. He simply waited. For her, Queen Saravora lifted her hood slowly. The shadows trembled. The air around her throne felt heavier, colder. Elias kept his eyes steady, ready to see the truth. But before she could reveal her face, the palace shook violently. Boom! A deafening blast echoed through the throne room. The black stone walls cracked. Dust fell from the ceiling. The violet flames along the walls flickered wildly. Saravora froze. Elias instantly stepped in front of her, hands ready, eyes sharp. Another explosion. Then a third. An alarm screamed through the palace, a sound so ancient and dangerous that the guards outside collapsed to their knees. "They found me," Saravora whispered, voice shaking. "Who?" Elias asked. "My own people," she said. "The High Council. They want me dead before I show my true power." Before Elias could respond, the massive doors of the throne room shattered. A dozen armored alien soldiers stormed in. Their armor was silver with red marks, the Royal Execution Division. Elias did not hesitate. He grabbed Saravora's arm and pulled her behind a fallen pillar. "Stay down." "You are protecting me?" she asked, stunned. "That's what I do," he answered. The soldiers pointed energy spears at the throne. One shouted, "The queen must fall. Do not let her resurrect." Elias rolled from cover and fired. A perfect shot, one soldier dropped. The others turned toward him, shocked. A human. "Kill him." Energy blasts flew like lightning. Elias slid behind another pillar, firing back with deadly precision. Saravora watched, stunned. No one had ever fought for her. Not one guard. Not one royal soldier. No one. But this human, this simple human, stood between her and death without a second thought. Another explosion shook the ground. A spear hit the pillar Elias had behind, burning through stone. Saravora's wings twitched with panic. "Elias, stop. They will kill you." "Then let them try," Elias said, pulling her deeper into protection. "But you stay alive." She stared at him, emotion rising in her chest, something unfamiliar, something warm. But then the soldiers switched tactics. Prepare blood surge. Their spears glowed bright red. Saravora's eyes widened in terror. "No, that attack is designed for me. For my kind." The spears unleashed a wave of burning red light that tore through the pillars like paper. Elias was thrown across the room, crashing into the floor. Elias! Saravora screamed, the first time she ever said his name. Her fear exploded. Her wings spread wide. Her claws lengthened. Her eyes glowed like two burning stars. She lost control. Shadow power burst from her body, swirling like a storm, cracking the throne behind her. The soldiers stepped back, terrified. "That's the monster," one shouted. "Kill her before she transforms." Saravora trembled violently, fighting the instinct. "I don't want to hurt anyone." But Elias, coughing, wounded, forced himself to stand. He walked toward her slowly, painfully, but without fear. Her power lashed out like wild flames, but he pushed through. "Elias, stop!" she cried. "I can't control it." He reached her, placed a hand on her shaking arm, and whispered, "I'm not afraid of you." Her power froze midair. Her transformation halted. No one had ever stopped her like that. No one had ever touched her without screaming. And for the first time, the alien vampire queen felt truly seen. The battle still raged around them. But in that moment, everything else disappeared. That Elias's hand on Saravora's arm changed everything. The shadows that stormed around her froze in midair. Her breath trembled. Her claws slowly softened. Her wings folded weakly, as if confused by the human's touch. No one had ever calmed her. No one had ever dared to come close. But Elias had walked through her power like it was nothing. You should run," Saravora whispered. "I cannot hold this form for long." "I'm not leaving you," he said softly. Her eyes widened. The galaxy had always told her she was a curse, a danger, a monster. Yet this one human stood in front of her wounded and still refused to step away. More soldiers rushed into the throne room, shouting, "Finish her before she transforms again. She is not fit to rule. She must die." Elias moved in front of her once more, raising his weapon. But Saravora gently pushed his arm down. "No, Elias," she whispered. "This time, I will protect you." She stepped forward, finally lifting her hood, and for the first time, Elias saw her face. Her skin was pale like moonlight, faint glowing lines running across her cheeks. Her eyes were deep violet, bright yet gentle. Her fangs were small, elegant, almost delicate. Her features were sharp, powerful, but stunning, a dangerous beauty, not a cursed one. Elias stared for several seconds, not in fear, not in shock, but in wonder. Saravora looked away quickly, ashamed. "I know, it is ugly." "No," Elias whispered. "You are the most beautiful in the galaxy." The word struck her like a force stronger than her own magic. Her eyes shimmered. Her breath broke. Before she could speak, the soldiers charged again. Saravora's expression changed. No fear now, only strength. She spread her wings wide. Dark energy boiled behind her like a rising storm, but now she controlled it. Every line of her body glowed with ancient royal power she had long hidden. "You will not touch him," she commanded. Her voice echoed across the palace, deep, regal, terrifying, and beautiful. A wave of violet energy burst outward. The soldiers were thrown back, their weapons shattered. The red marks on their armor cracked like old paint. None dared to rise again. Silence filled the throne room. Saravora lowered her wings slowly. Her power faded. She turned back to Elias with fear, not of herself, but of his reaction. "Now you know what I am," she whispered. "Do you still think I am beautiful?" Elias stepped to her without hesitation. He reached out gently, lifting her chin so she met his eyes. "I thought you were beautiful before I even saw your face," he said. "Because beauty is not in fear. It is in truth." Her eyes softened, for the first time in her life. In that quiet moment, everything changed. The legend of the Monster Queen died. The truth of the lonely, powerful woman was born. Saravora placed her forehead against his, wings folding around him like a protective veil. "Stay with me," she whispered. Elias smiled softly. "Always." And in the dark palace, where fear once ruled, a new story began. Not of terror, not of curses, but of a human who saw beauty where the galaxy saw a monster, and the queen who finally believed him.